How's it going, everybody? Wayne here. Man, it's been a minute since I've made a video, and if you aren't subscribed to my channel, that reason is because I moved to the States recently after living in Japan for 7 years. So moving all this game collection from Japan to here was just a huge deal. It took a lot of time to take all these games, make sure they were packed away safely, make sure they were going to travel across the ocean safely, and then I had to, of course, set up the new game room. Now, here in the States, I had all these big plans for a much bigger game room, and it turns out that my room in Japan was actually bigger than the one here in the States that I have for my game collection. In Japan, my game room was actually my master bedroom, and here it's just one of the spare bedrooms. So on top of moving everything and setting up the new game room, I've also unfortunately been having to sell a lot of stuff that used to be part of the collection. But then there's also stuff I can display now that I haven't displayed in the past before, and it's really cool to kind of change everything up, and it's an all new look. So tell me in the comments below whether you like the old game room or whether you like this one better. I like this one better. It's my own space, it's my own room. To me, the collection just looks a lot more cleaner. There's just not so much extra stuff laying around. Now, of course, there is a lot of stuff that I do miss about the old stuff that I had to sell, but the stuff that I've been selling has been funding the NES collection. So without further ado, let's go ahead and do a quick look around the room. Alright, well, we'll start with the N64. This is all 296 North American games complete in box. It's a bad habit when I say complete in box. What I mean by that is I don't have all the little pamphlets and plastic baggies that go on the cartridges, but every one of these is the original box, cartridge, and manual for the system in North America. Now, there is an NTSC collection, which is actually 297 games. That includes a Brazilian game, F1. So I don't actually have that. I'm not really too interested in that one at the moment because I'm focusing on NES currently, and that's a series I've been working on for my channel for a little bit now. If you're new to this channel, I completed all 296 games on this channel right here. I played all 296 games. The whole series was about how much it cost to put together a complete N64 library in today's market. What's funny is, right after I completed the set, the market blew up. So the collection would have cost me about double now. One thing I recently found out about the collection is I had 3 different variations of the Micro Machines box, but one of them seemed really odd and never seemed to pop up on eBay. I got really lucky when I found mine in a lot of 4 boxes for $50. I immediately noticed the box looked weird. I thought it might have been fake, but I went ahead and bought it. Now the version that was just up there before is the glass window version that comes with the car. This version here is the one they gave to rental stores to rent out, because it doesn't come with the car, because why would you need the car if you were renting out the game? And this is a version that came with the car but doesn't have a glass window, and this is the really rare one. And I just found the original owner of these the other week. There was only 15 of these, and they're thought to be a prototype box before they actually put the box into production. This is a legit box. It has an actual Nintendo seal. So it's one of the rarest items I own. I was originally going to go for all the exclusive Japanese complete in box games, but I gave up on that collection. But I did keep some of the cooler ones, such as Bangeo. I also kept the entire big box collection of Japanese N64 games, and a lot of the controllers I found while living in Japan. I also have a loose Anna Airlines N64 console, which was a airline prize in Japan. And over here we have the Hyundai Convoy, which came out in Korea. And you can see it has the Korean writing on the controller and the expansion cover, as well as the power and reset buttons. Over here are some more cool consoles. This is a Chinese IQ. It's silver here. But I just found out last year there was also a black version, and it came in different packaging, but I only need one, and only one is going to fit in this game room. I also have the Japanese Pikachu consoles, one in orange, one in blue. Down here is the clear black, and this version is actually from Taiwan. You can see normal Japanese writing there. This is a Taiwan variant, but it also has the region code of JPN and ROC Republic of China. The Big Box Ocarina of Time here is a Brazilian exclusive, and you can see the North American version sitting next to it. You can just see how big that box actually is. Like I said, that only came out in Brazil, and it's becoming more and more desirable. There's also Majora's Mask and other big box Brazilian exclusives as well. Over here we have Super Mario, and that is the Taiwan version. Behind that is the Just Go 64 30th anniversary. Down here we have Midnight Blue. This is my main console, plays Japanese and US games. Over here is the Dai Hawks version, which was only sold in certain stores in Japan. And down here is some more common ones. We have the Clear Blue and the Clear Red. Down here we have the standard charcoal gray and the gold version. And since the lights are already pointed this way, this is my console, PC Engine console collection, and these are all complete in box. PC Engine is one of my favorite systems to collect for, from Japan. Most of these I actually found locally while I lived in Japan. Only a couple I had to get offline, and that was the Super Graphics, which I actually found loose a few times, and the PC Engine Shuttle here, which I had to buy off eBay just to complete the set. Now I don't have the LT or the GT, and I'm not sure if I'll get those. I really don't have a lot of extra room for consoles, but those would be cool to own one day when I have more space. Back here I have a handy sonar with a Wonder Swan, and it's basically a fish finder for a handheld console. And here's my PC Engine game collection. Now I know if you can't read Japanese, you're not going to know what a lot of these titles are, but there are some awesome games. This is the best system that came from Japan. And sitting above the PC Engine collection is my Super Mario Bros. 3 McDonald's Happy Meal display. Coming over here we have my PS2 sign Now, I've had this for years, just sitting here in the States at my parents' house, and it was first opened when I started building my game room here. Speaking of PS2, these are my Japanese PS2 games. And again, of course, if you can't read Japanese, you're not going to know a lot of these titles. I don't. I have to pull out every one every time I want to play the system. Moving on to the other side of the room, this is all of my American PS2 collection, which I have a lot of really good titles, but I also sold some of them as well to make room. Down here on the shelf we have my PS2 console collection, and there's some really awesome Japanese colors in here, but I never did get them all in Japan. Over here we have the Panasonic GameCube. This was the only GameCube to come with a DVD player, but it only came out in Japan. Over here we have a Spice Orange GameCube player attachment, a standard silver box. Up here we have the Spice Orange GameCube, Black GameCube, and Indigo GameCube. Moving up we have the Super Famicom, bunch of Famicom games in a case there, and we have the Super Nintendo. On the next shelf over we have a Nintendo employee watch that's never been used. We have the Japanese Power Glove and Virtual Boy. Moving up from there we have a bunch of variant NES consoles. Here's the Sharp Twin Famicom, which played disk system games and Famicom cartridges, which Famicom is the Japanese version of the NES. That's a US Arkanoid box with controller. This is the Mattel version NES. Over here we have the Korean Hyundai Comboy. Over here we have a complete in box US NES console. Right here we have the ES 1800, which holds 18 NES games. And I have the shelf sitting out right now. This holds all my Super Mario Bros. 3 variants from around the world. This is most, if not all, the different region codes of Super Mario Bros. 3. Coming back over here we have another NES case. This is most of my signed games and homebrews right here. Up here we have a box disc system and a Famicom system rack, which is a really rare rack to hold the Famicom and the disc system that were separate together. And there's a family computer right there. Let me just move this aside right here. This is the NES version NES. This is European. The box is inaccurate. It actually says NES version on the lid here as well. Here we have a complete in box Hong Kong version, which it says Hong Kong version on the lid. And over here is probably my rarest NES, and this is the Samurai version, and this came from India. It actually says Samurai on there. So that's one of my favorite pieces for consoles right there. Up here we have the deluxe set. We have the AV Famicom, and this is the Japanese Rob the Robot set right here. There's a stack up for the NES, Retro Bit Metal Storm, and a boxed NES Advantage controller. This is another piece I just got recently after I moved here. It was sitting in the States for a little bit. When I knew I was moving to the States, I had it sent to a friend, and he held on to it for me until I got back. This looks a lot like the Famicom box I used to own, but this is actually the Famicom station. It's fully functional. And the controllers actually say Sharp on them, which is pretty cool. But the cartridges inside are black, and they basically look just like a regular American NES cart, which is weird because in Japan they had the Famicom cartridges. And I actually have the keys that go with the console, which is a bonus. Over here I have a small US PS1 collection, and my Japanese PS1 collection is a little bit bigger than that. Beyond that is a very tiny Neo Geo CD collection, and there is my Neo Geo CD console. Moving up from there we have the Japanese GameCube collection, which is small, the US GameCube collection, which is also small but some excellent titles in there. And then we have the Wii collection, which you might notice some of these are out of their spot right now because me and my son play this a lot in our master bedroom. But that's a pretty decent collection. And then at the end here is the Wii U. Coming back to the other shelf, we have some complete in box Game Boy Advance games. My DS collection, which has Advance Wars on it, one of my favorite series. We have the 3DS collection. There's some Japanese Game Boy Advance games complete in box. Here we have our PSP, mostly US games in here. There are some Japanese. Over here's the Famicom Disk System, also some awesome titles on there. The Virtual Boy, Atari, and the Super Famicom over here, which I have one really fun rare one for the system. That game is Suri Hakun, and it's a puzzle game where he sucks up different colors and the blocks do different things based on the colors to advance through the game. Really fun game, but kind of rare and hard to find. These cubes here house all of my controllers. Over here I have the Lego NES set that came out, which was really fun to put together but took a long time. This is my AV Famicom, and I have an adapter in it to be able to play US games, and that's also how I record NES gameplay, is by that. And there's my Midnight Blue N64. This is my GameCube setup over here, which is the Pokemon HD console, or excuse me, XD. And then Super Nintendo. Up here we have the PC Engine Duo RX, and like I already showed you, my Neo Geo CD. And then we have an American and a Japanese PS2 console. This is my PS4 collection here. I have a lot of fun. I still play a lot of the PS4. I don't have a PS5 yet. And one of my favorite ways to play games is the PSVR, which is right down here. And finally we have the Switch games here at the bottom, which I have down here because my kids play this system a lot. And when they come to get new games, I don't want them running all around the game room to get them. On this wall right here, we have the PlayStation VR, the Taco Bell Gold exclusive, which is still sealed, the Last of Us PS2, and down here is the 500 million sold version, which is my main console that we use. And finally down here we have the Ace Combat 7 sticks. Over here we have boxed Famicom games. This is again the Japanese version of the NES. I have some really good titles I found in Japan while I lived there. Coco Ron's one of them. Power Blazer. There's some really good titles over there, and it was really awesome. A lot of them I would have never known about had I been over there. And of course there's no end labels on a lot of them. There are on some of the Konami ones. But other than that, you have to pull them out to see what they really are. And here's the NES Complete in Box Quest collection that I'm working on right now. I have a lot of good titles knocked out of the way. Luckily, I got a lot of the rare ones before the market just blew up completely. But I did get stuck with a couple that I wasn't able to get before the market blew up. So it is a little harder collecting right now. Like one of the ones I still need is Mighty Final Fight. What's another one? Chubby Cherub. I still need that one. But I did get a lot of good titles out of the way, like Little Samson, Flintstones, Dino Peak, Power Blade 2, Kid Clown, Bubble Bobble 2 right there, Bucky O'Hare. A lot of these I got before the market blew up, which was really nice. And one of the reasons I haven't been doing NES Complete in Box Quest videos, besides the fact that I was moving from Japan to the States, I wasn't able to have all my games because of moving. So when I knew I was actually coming to the States, oh, there's Jetsons right there. That was a really hard one to find. when I knew I was coming to the States, I started shipping a lot of these games to my parents' house, and I didn't even see them until I moved here to Arkansas. So I wasn't able to leave a lot of feedback for people on eBay right away, because I had to wait till my parents could sit there and open the packages for me so I could verify if they were real or not. So it was kind of a headache, but I figured if anything happened in the move to my collection, it would have been nice to, you know, at least have those games preserved at my parents' house, and I could just pick them up whenever I came back to the States. In the end, everything ended up getting here just fine. I left all these games on the shelf during the move, so the wood was able to protect all the boxes and everything like that. So that was really awesome. And you may have noticed I had 2 graded games in the collection. One of those is Snow Brothers. This one I just got, and the only way I could actually find it at the time, I really wanted the game, the only way I could find it was a graded version on eBay. So this was a really nice addition to the collection. Originally I wasn't a fan of graded games, but both of these games, actually the only 2 graded games I own, kind of made me like them a lot more. Getting them, they're really nice quality, and like I said, I only got these because they were the only way I could find the games complete in box. The cases also preserved the games really well too, so I might actually do a lot more of my games like this, not to sell them and make millions of dollars, but I really like the way they look and how much they protect the games. So coming in the closet over here, it's not the most well organized. I'm still organizing a lot of the game collection still today. I have a ton of stuff that I'm not able to display. A lot of rare stuff, like those twin sticks, are incredibly rare and really fun to play with actually. And I have all the Wii consoles, all the different versions of the Wii. Not all the box variations, but all the different colored consoles. I have a couple Wii U's. That's the Famicom light gun revolver right there. Some more GameCube stuff. All my figurines are still in boxes down here. I'm not able to display those anywhere. I have a really cool Famicom case back there. That was in another one of my videos that I can't display still. I have some Famicom game holders, Super Mario Bros. 3 versions in here, which hold Famicom games. Those were on display in my old game room. I have a lot of standees that are back behind there that I can't display. They just stayed in their boxes. And here I have, as you can see, this is a storage closet. This is all stuff that I'm working on fixing and selling in here. There's a lot of consoles that are boxed. Couple standees I decided to get rid of. There's just boxes and boxes of stuff. Not just here, but in the garage is where I have tons of boxes of stuff that I just don't have the room for, and I'm working on selling. Well, that's it for the 2021 game room tour. I'm still currently working on NES Complete in Box. I'm a little lost on the NES Complete in Box series. I could find out where I'm at if I really tried. So if that's a series that you want me to continue, let me know down in the comments. I've been debating whether I should go back to that or not, because I'm so far into the collection now. It's gonna take a very long time to catch up and play all those games. So yeah, let me know in the comments if that's something that you want to see, or if you just want to see game chasing at yard sales and local game stores. We actually do have a lot of local game stores, but they don't have a lot of, you know, stuff that I'm looking for all the time, because I collect complete in box mostly, and they just have cartridges for the most part. So let me know what kind of content you want to see in the future. If you enjoyed the video, please make sure to subscribe, and I'll be bringing you more content like this. Until next time, I'm Wayne, and thanks for watching. Oh, and also make sure to leave a thumbs up for the 2021 Game Room Tour. Booger or anything? Think I'm good.